Hello, everybody, and welcome to CEM Coins and Currency. This is my first video that I've ever done for YouTube or anything else. And today we will be opening up a bulk submission from PMG Currency. Forgive me for the camera movement there. Once again, this is my first time. So, with that being said, open up my handy dandy pocket knife here and get this box opened up. Give me 1 second. Well, said I would get it opened up. Bear with me 1 minute, folks. I do apologize about this. Sorry for the camera movement. As I've said, this is all new to me. It does not want to cooperate, so I'm just going to tear into it. And we'll go from there. And here we go. Alright, so here is our submission. That's how it comes back to you. Bubble wrap. And a pro tip to anybody who's just starting, these holders, which most of them I bought, most of these notes I bought in collections, are bought, at coin shows over the years or in various other ways. But if you have not seen, these holders are god awful expensive now. They are going for, $20, $25 for a pack of 25, or more. So I always request on my submission forms to have the holders sent back to me. That way I can use them for, lower grade notes that I may sell at a coin show or that aren't going to be graded or on eBay. It's just a little way to, save yourself a few bucks, because at the end of the day, that's always helpful. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the notes. So I sent 50 notes here in this submission. And I'm going to set them right here so you get a view of them. So, yeah, let me double check my paperwork. Yeah, 50 notes. Now, so I will go ahead and tell you, I am what they call, I paid the highest amount that you could for a PMG NGC membership. I think it's like $350, $360 something a year. Doing that, if you're going to send a lot in, which I plan to send multiple more submissions in, and hopefully I'll be able to share them with you here. It saves you 10% on the bulk grading fees. So that knocks your grading fee down from $23 per note to roughly $20.70 per note, which is a great, at the end of the day, it adds up, especially if you're sending multiple large submissions in a year, or just in general. It's a good rule of thumb. So our first note here is a 1928 $20 gold certificate star note. So I was very happy to find this note, very happy to get it back. Got a 25, which I feel in my mind is a fair grade for this note myself. The back is definitely, this note's seen a lot of love, gone for a lot of hands. in my mind, a 25 in this grade with no, comments. Anytime you get a note with no comments, when I say comments will be here. So basically, normally they'll say like stain, splits, stuff like that. Anytime you can get a note and it don't say that, you are doing good. So I was very happy with this note. So let me put that to the side. Move my paperwork out of the way. Let me get a drink of my soda here. Y'all have to forgive me. Once again, my nerves will get to me. This is the first time I've done this. So here we have a 1928 $10 gold, FR number 2400. This one I was hoping would come back at 58. You always dream of a mint state note. When I say a mint state note, it means 60 or above. 65 or above is normally considered gem. But, this is a good note, especially for somebody who's not trying to spend, over $1,000 for a good gold certificate for their system. The back is in pretty decent shape. I was very happy with, when I bought this note. And I'm satisfied with the grade. Very nice. No comments once again. Another $10 gold certificate. This one's a star note. So 1928 2400 star, A block. Once again, a 25. I kind of figured these notes would hit, these two star notes, the 20 and the 10 would hit 25s. Forgive me. I've got paperwork shuffling around. They've been well loved. But still, you don't see them too often. Anybody's putting together a full set needs these. So, to me, definitely worth it. So, the next two we have here are both 1934 C silver certificates, FR 1704. And both of these are really nice notes. I was very happy with them. I was happy with the grade. 55, once again, you always hope for a 58 or above, but in these, still nice notes. And they won't break the bank if you're trying to complete the set. Once again, no comments, so that's a win. This one here, very nice note. This one has slits. Now, when they're saying slits, the best I can assume, it must be down here at the bottom. There must be some slits along the edges. If you can see them, please let me know in the comments. Me personally, I thought there's not really any major slitting, but I don't work at PMG. And they have you beholden to them. So once again, me personally, I don't see any slits in the note. No really pinholes in it either. That's another good thing about these. Most of the time, the ones I've showed you, the 10s, the 20s, a lot of these notes will be pinholed. And what it is, it's from the bank. They were, or they were stapled later on or whatever. They were just workhorse notes. So if you get them and they don't have pinholes in them and there's no comments of pinholes, to me, that's a win as well. So this one's a little different. This is a 1934A North Africa emergency issue star note. So there is another one, the 1930, another star note that I've had that was a 15 that I sold. This is a much nicer one in my mind. Once again, it's a 25. It's a workhorse. Somebody's doctored on this note before I got it. Stain lightened. And I would assume they're probably talking about this spot here around the 10, which is fine. Still a nice note. Nothing too crazy here. 1934A silver certificate 45 EPQ. Nice EPQ. I always like to get the EPQs. It's you know, this will be a 99-cent note on eBay most likely. This one, 34A, 55 EPQ. You know, I mean, I can see why it was a 55. There is some staining on it. In my mind, a little, maybe a tiny bit, but nothing too wild. I mean, once again, EPQ. EPQs always do well. 1934C silver certificate. This one is actually a 63, which if they all came back like that, I'd send them constantly. I'd have, you know, 100 notes at PMG constantly getting graded. Unfortunately, they don't all come back like that, but when they do, it's nice. You know, no comments as well. At an exceptional paper quality, which is wonderful. Here's a 34C, 58 EBQ. Not too wild. But, once again, this is stuff that I've had for years. Bought in collections, and I'm just trying to get graded. I believe, personally, if you think it's worth graded, send it. I mean, it's a gamble. It's like buying a lottery ticket. You know, you might win, you might not. This is a 53A, 64 EPQ. And please, in the comments, let me know if this light is bothering y'all. My lovely wife and my daughters told me that I needed to get a ring light with my camera. My oldest daughter does makeup tutorials, so I took their word for it. And if it works, it works. If it don't, I'll scrap it for the next video. But anyway, 64 EPQ, very nice. 65 EPQ, that's a gem right there. So anything like 65 or above is PMG will label a gem uncirculated. Which, this is a nice note. Once again, these, the 5s especially, but the 10s, I mean, 5s and 10s were workhorse notes, you know, of the day. I mean, you have to think in the 50s and 60s, you could give your kid $1 and they would, you know, go to the store and get whatever they wanted, basically. You know, drink and a snack and have a, you know, get 10 cents back. But anyway, enough on my tangent. 34A, 40 EPQ. Once again, more than likely, the EPQ is nice, but in that grade, more than likely a 99-cent note. 1934D. This is the wide. So in wide, to be completely honest with you, I'm not totally sure, but I believe it has something to do with the plate and the cut of the note. Maybe you can tell me in the comments, but 65 EPQ, so I have to look this one up and actually see what that means in my book. I'm in no way an expert. I do dabble in selling and trading and buying, but anybody who tells you they know it all, forgive me, once more, paperwork falling. They don't. Nobody's an expert. People are always learning. You can always learn something more. I don't try to act like I know it all, and I don't like it when other people do. So if you see something and you want to correct me in the comments, feel free, and I'll try to learn something too. Forgive me, I had to get a drink. 34B. So this is a better note, even though the grade is lower. 34B are a little rarer. So it's a 30, very fine. It's got a small tear, which is right here. You see where it says small tear? There's a small tear right there at my thumb. You can kind of see it. But overall, the B, you know, these were circulated notes, still in pretty good shape. Hawaiian, 1934A, $10. This is a 25. These were issued during World War II. We were worried about the Japanese invading Hawaii and did not want them getting a hold of our money if they did. They've got the Hawaii stamped on the back. These are great notes. Very collectible. Easy to sell. That one had no comments, which is nice. You can kind of see, I'm going to go back to this one, I'm sorry. The hard fold there. Anytime you see notes with hard folds like that, it really kills them as far as degrading. And the staining on them doesn't help either. This is another one. 25 very fine. And as you can see, the comments, stains, which I knew before I sent it. But I like to get these in holders. People like them in holders. They're just good notes to have. Hawaii, stained. That's not stained. That's good. All right. That's grade 20. Very happy with that. This one here is a National Bank of Claysville, Pennsylvania. Type 1. So I'll show you the difference between the Type 1 and the Type 2 here soon. These were issued by bank charters, national bank charters. This one's got a 35 choice, very fine. This one does have pinholes. And Jones Woods on the front. So that one's nice. Some of these can be worth good money. I actually have to look these up and remember why I sent them, because it took almost 3 months to get my notes back from PMG, which is normal. They do that. But this one is a South Boston, Virginia, Planters and Merchants First National Bank, charter number 8643, 15, very fine. Corner damage, you can see it here. And there's a slight bit there. All right. Some I call them FRNs, Federal Reserve notes. This is a 1928B, St. Louis. With the there's like a dark green, a light green, and like a real dark green. And this one's a 58. Would have liked to seen that hit at EPQ, but I understand why it didn't. Just kidding. I have no idea. Anyway, this one is a 1928 Cleveland 45 EPQ, and that's the back. Maybe that 58 was pressed. I don't know. Sometimes older guys who collected used to, what they would do is they would take a note that looked like it had been wrinkled or something like that, and they would literally press them in a book, and then sometimes, or in a piece of cloth, and then actually run a steam iron over it. Which, believe it or not, I had an old timer who taught me a lot about currency, and he is the one who actually educated me to that practice. I've never done it myself. I have heard rumors of it. There's also a chemical bath that they use to remove stains, which is probably where that North African earlier in the video where stain removed, stain lightened. I would not suggest doing that. PMG is probably going to catch it anyway, or PCGS currency, either one. And also, if you don't know what you're doing, you will really mess something up, is my rule of thumb, so I don't mess with it. This is a 1928-50 Federal Reserve note, St. Louis, PMG 30. This I just sent in just, hey, let's see. Which, anything 1928 in a halfway decent grade is actually worth sending. For example, 1928B. This is a Cleveland. This is what they call dark green. This is a 64 choice uncirculated EPQ. It's a nice note. Glad I sent it. 1928B Federal Reserve note, Kansas City. Dark green. Another nice note. 64 choice uncirculated. Wish they all came back 64s or above. Oh boy. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world? Of course, it would make note grading Very boring, because then there would be no surprises. 1928 Philadelphia. This is a light green. Light green is more popular for whatever reason. People really like to collect them. This one being a 64 is very nice with the EPQ. And I'm sorry if this is boring. This is... You have to tell me what y'all want to see. I do coins as well. Other types of currency. Bullion. So as I buy stuff, or as I do trades with people, or go to shows, I also do auctions. I may start making more videos. If you'll comment and let me know, that'd be great. 1928 Chicago. That's a dark green. 65 EPQ. Very nice. Very happy with these. All right. Another Chicago 58 EPQ. Dark green. Yeah, I like the way that looks. I would like to see that get a little higher, but who am I? This is a 63 EPQ, dark green Chicago, or I won't show the back of that, but just for a second. They need to go slow. They're all the same. Let me get a drink of my drink here. This is a 1928 Chicago dark green. That's another 65 gem. EPQ. Like the way that looks. That'll look good in somebody's collection. Probably sell some of these. 1928 light green Chicago 58. 1928 Richmond 45. 1928 Atlanta 30. It's hilarious that Andrew Jackson is on the 20. I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard that story. Andrew Jackson actually hated paper currency. he thought only gold and silver coins should be manufactured, and that paper currency was worthless, and that the U.S. government should not use it. And he actually hated and had a big feud during his presidency with the National Bank at the time. It wasn't the Federal Reserve Bank. It was called the National Bank. I may be wrong on that, but you feel free, any historians, to correct me in the comments. But basically, from what I took away, it's been years since I read about it, but Jackson, he did not like paper currency, which is kind of a, I guess, like one of the greatest trolls that people don't know about, is that he is on the 20. This is a 1934A Hawaii. It's a pretty nice note. 40. These start getting expensive in the AUs and in the gems. They're still affordable in the 40s. And then most of them you see are in the, the very fines. This is another one. 34A. Once again, some people would say, why'd you send that note in? Just sell it raw. Well, I like sending them in. And to me, it's not really, there's no arguing, really. That one's got some real hard folds. If you try to sell raw notes, people sometimes will they'll argue with you about it and stuff. Well, this, if you don't like it, you don't like it. This is the grade, and you don't have to buy it, is how I look at it. With raw stuff, some stuff I'll sell raw, but these I just felt the urgency to send them in. Another one, Hawaii. It's a 30, very fine. Little ink mark on that one. Let's see if we can find the ink mark. Yeah, right there at the top. You can see it there on the front as well. Another 25, 34A, $20. Very fine. Most of these notes, though, came back with very few comments, which I was very happy about. Comment 3 notes are great. They're just easier to sell. And, you know, it's just simpler. Another $120 emergency, 30, very fine. So the 40 was the highest we got out of it. Ink mark on this one. Where's the ink mark at? Oh, yeah, right there. 55 APQ, 1934A, silver certificate, $10. Sorry if anybody heard my wife yelling in the background. She's yelling at my dog. He knocked something over. Yeah, that's a nice one. 34 Mule. That's a nice Mule there. That's a 58 EPQ. So the Mule has something to do with they printed the backs and then the fronts were printed at a later date on a different plate, or maybe it's the opposite.Maybe the fronts and the something was printed with a different plate. So that makes it a Mule note. This is a First National Bank, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, which is actually not far from me. So this one I really like. So 20. Got some ink once again, but still a nice circulated note. Orange, Virginia National Bank. That's a type 2. So the difference, type 2 and type 1. Let's go over this real quick. So type 1 just has the serial number here. Type 2 has the serial number here and the charter number. So the charter number's here, which is a charter at a bank. That's the charter number. On the type 1, it is only the charter number here. Anyway, Orange, Virginia. Very nice note for circulation. I mean, it's not a gem or anything, but, you know, this is stuff that I've had laying around, and I wanted to get graded. Watertown, South Dakota. Type 1. Been wrote on. Annotations. Yep. On the back as well. Hamilton Bank in Knoxville, Tennessee. 25, very fine. Stains lighting. Somebody's worked on this one. But what are you going to do? Still nice notes. Nice affordable notes is how I put it for people's collections. West Bend, Wisconsin. 20, very fine. Minor rust marks. Surprised it didn't get really hit for that. But, hey, I'll take it. Vicksburg, Mississippi. Most of these will be out of the South or the East Coast. But I do have some from California, which will be coming up in a later video when I get my next submission back. The 25, that's a type 2, as we discussed. Annotations. Right here. And wrote on. All right, and our last three. 1929, New York. So this is printed on national currency, but it's really a Federal Reserve banknote. So what they had done is they blocked out the governor and the deputy governor down here. Jones Woods, 40. No comments. Nothing crazy. National currency. but really a Federal Reserve banknote. Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Annotation. Right there. And then last one, Richmond. 25. Minor rust. Probably right there if I was to guess. And a little bit up there. But over and all, nice note. Well, everybody, that is my first video on this channel, and I hope you liked it. Once again, any comments, questions, I don't know everything, but I do try to, stay informed and help inform people. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to, leave a comment. Also, if you do like the video, please like it and subscribe. There'll be more videos on the way. I'm going to try to start making videos and hopefully put up at least one every week or every couple of weeks on different stuff I've got going on, or different stuff I'm buying or trading or selling. Or, just collecting, because I do like to collect. If you would, like I said, leave a like, subscribe, comment. All those things will help the channel grow. And also, there's a link on the channel to my eBay. Some of these notes will be up on eBay for sale. Some of them might go up for auction. Some of them might go up for buy it now. So if you see anything that, tickles you fancy and you're interested in it, just let me know and check out our eBay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.